Hi, and welcome to Mrs. Pam Reads. We are continuing in our story Zoo by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge. And we will be in book 4, chapter 85. Now, in our last video, Oz and Alvarez, let me move this back a little. Whoop, you don't need to see the bedroom, do you? No. Oz and Alvarez had been in a crash, and they got picked up by a government SUV, and they were taken to the cabinet secretary of something with the cabinet. And he met up again with Dr. Charles Grow, and they suggested that in order to solve the problem, that they eliminate or stop using all petroleum products and all cell phones. So I'm not sure how that's going to go over, but we're going to find out. So chapter 85, straining her ears. Oh, yes. Attila had broken into the New York secure compound with a whole bunch of animals. So that's where Chloe and Eli are. So that's where we're starting. Straining her ears, her eyes glued to the front door she just double locked, Chloe sits on a creaking Louis Couture's chair in the entryway of the apartment. For the last half hour, she has sat listening as gunfire has cracked and rollicked throughout the building, thudding through walls and echoing in hallways. The noises keep getting louder, rising floor by floor like fire. Soon they will reach their floor, and she and her son will be consumed. And yet, all she can do is sit there. The wild fear is so great that she is almost immobilized now. She can't act, can't think, can't plan her next move. All she can do is sit and stare at the crack of light beneath the door, wondering what will happen next. The pressure in her tightly clenched jaws seems to double, triple, when she hears a sound that is clearly in the hallway outside the apartment. It's a brief creak, followed by a click. Then she hears it again, creak and click. Something is pushing a stairwell door in the hallway, she realizes, probing. It's something that isn't human or even really animal anymore, she thinks. It's true. What they are up against is something that has never been seen before. She has thought of it as a devolution. It is as if the nature of every higher animal has been erased and replaced with the alien instinct of the insect world, an instinct older, more terrible, more pitiless than human beings have ever seen. She thinks about her career as a biologist, all the tireless work, the catalog of animal species and genera. It has all been made useless now. All animals are joining into one, a roving amalgam of fur and bone and teeth, with no different from any other wave of destructive energy. What is happening is like a lava flow, a raging inferno of animated protoplasm that seeks the same thing as fire itself, to initiate change, to consume until the thing consumed is gone, to devour. Why is this happening? Who really knows? Life and existence can never be fully understood. Stars are born only to explode. Creatures hunt other creatures, and then they die. The universe is a chaos of irrational forces wrestling with one another in a war without end. The human race is on the receiving end now. Chloe finally stands on legs as stiff and unresponsive as stale bread. She returns slowly to the living room. Eli is still planted, glassy-eyed, before the television. On the TV, there's a cartoon movie of friendly animals talking to each other. Madagascar comes as a useless thought, like a bird flying through the opaque cloud of her fear. She looks for the remote to turn off the TV, gives up, and clicks it off by pressing the button on the set itself. What's wrong, Mommy? Eli says, stars in his eyes. He's an impressively smart kid, obedient, especially perceptive of her feelings, especially when she isn't fooling around. She lifts him up. She goes to the corner of the living room and switches off the light. She sits on one of the plush white couches beneath a canvas that screams with garish splashes of color. Here it is, her grand plan, she thinks. Soon, she hears a skittering by the front door, or has she imagined it? I will not let you in, Chloe thinks. Not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Her hands are shaking violently. She clenches her fists to make them stop. What's wrong, Mommy? Eli whispers. You have to listen to me, Eli, she whispers back. We have to be quiet now. Can you do that? Can you be a good boy for Mommy? Yes, Eli says, squeezing her hand. Don't be sad, Mommy. I can be quiet. She tries to regulate her breathing, to breathe with steady deliberation. She tries to will down the throbbing in her stomach and her chest and her brain. Tears well up in her eyes. She tries to dam them back. Her vision blurs. Think. Control. The world is receding into focus. Keep it there. Control it. Control it. I can understand that. She thinks, trying to come up with a rational next step. She thinks about the building. There is a set of front stairs, an elevator, a freight elevator. Wait, she thinks. There's also a set of back stairs, which might be accessible from the kitchen door in the rear, where she tosses the trash. Maybe that escape route is still open, she thinks. She could carry Eli and get out that way. But then what? Be out in the open? Go to another building? Best thing to do is just sit here and hope they are ignored, and another sound makes her heart skip a beat. It is coming off to her right. There is a set of French doors there. Oh, she has forgotten about them. They lead out to a balcony. She watches a shadow fall onto the balcony from above, just outside the glass, then another, then a third. Slowly, Chloe pulls Eli to the floor with her, lying on her belly beside the coffee table with him, clutching him to herself, trying to protect him with her body as best she can. She raises her head very slowly until she can see the French doors and the balcony again. There are 3 adult chimpanzees with their faces squished against the glass, blowing hot fog on it, like children pressing their faces to the window of a candy store. They are huge. Their fur is bristling, erect. 2 of them hold something in their hands. Sticks? No, they are pipes. Tool use. The ethologist still left in Chloe thinks. tools. The sound of tapping comes a moment later. The chimps are smashing the pipes against the glass door. Clink, clink, clink. Then there is a cymbal-crashing burst of glass breaking. Chapter 86. Glass shatters. Jagged triangles tumble piecemeal to the wooden floor. Clang, clatter, and chime. The chimps clear the glass from the frames with the pipes. The alpha male steps forward, gently shoving the others out of the way. He is wearing a ragged red hat. Rakish and totemite on his head look up like a barbarian's scavenged crown. It is Attila, or what used to be Attila. He is a changed ape. There is a tightly wound guitar string tautness to his muscular, a ravenous, lean, and hungry look. His hair is rangy in places. His nose is running. It seems his whole physiology has changed. His brain functions are dulled, perverted. His metabolism is stuck in fast forward. Attila sticks his face into the apartment, sniffs. All is smell now. Sound, touch, even sight play a second fiddle in the orchestra of sensations. They all know there are humans here. They know there is an adult female. That scent is unmistakable. The sweat, the sweet, tiny reek of ovulation, and what smells like a young juvenile. Their mouths tingle with salivation at the proximity of the prey. They want to feed on them the way fire wants oxygen. The animals communicate almost exclusively by smell now. Emotions and intentions are detectable in body odor, in sweat. Attila wants it even more than the other two with him. He hasn't had a fresh kill in hours, and the hunger gnawing at his belly is a scissors in his stomach, cutting him in half. Attila is about to enter the room from the balcony when he catches another scent. There is something subtle in the human smell of the other one, the young one, something almost undetectable that pokes thinly through the wall of his rage. Across the red screen of Attila's mind, a memory plays. A man's face appears, vague, watery, but there. It comes down close to the bars of the tiny cramped cage he is trapped in. The man opens the door of the cage, cradles him, talks to him, soothes him. The first kindness he ever experienced. Rocking his dazed head from side to side at the strange vision, Attila stops in the shattered balcony doorway. He is there somehow a part of the boy. And yet, Attila is angry, so angry. He stands there, his impulses warring with his memory. The other two apes, squirming with the blood rage, struggle to squeeze past him. Attila grabs the first one by the shoulder, and then the other. He draws them away from the doorway, back into the outside. There is other meat. Yee-yah! It's an annoying sound, isn't it? Attila shrieks. It is a violent noise, high-pitched, grinding, and we yaw 3 more times. Mommy, wake up, listen. Chloe's eyes flutter open. There is a high, ear-piercing primate call sound coming from the balcony. The chimps on the balcony seem to be tussling with one another. She sits up. Chloe reaches out and wraps her arms firmly around her son as they watch the animals jostle and shriek. She recognizes the familiar sound the chimp is making. It is a warning call, a kind of siren that chimps emit when a threat is close. One is warning the others not to enter. After a moment, the apes break it up. the largest of them, who bizarrely seems to be wearing a ragged old red hat, knuckle walls to the balcony railing and hops onto its edge, beckoning the others to follow. A moment later, all three of them slip over the railing and are gone. Interesting. Chloe expels a long, shivery breath. First, the chimps wanted to attack, but then suddenly they stopped. Attila, how could it have been him? How could it not have been him? How many chimps are there at large in this town? Chloe sits on the floor while Eli is in the dark. Outside the shattered window, she can hear people yelling. People singing and chanting in Central Park. It is as if human beings are regressing, becoming primitive again. Maybe human beings will start reacting to the pheromones now. Create human zombies to join the four-footed ones. Anything is possible. Eli struggles in her arms like a giant fish, struggling to escape her grip. No, stay here, Chloe says in a curt whisper. I'll be right back. She thinks he needs to use the bathroom, but he returns a moment later and hands her something. It is the bowl of popcorn. Daddy said I should take care of you while he's gone, he says. Here. She kisses him. There comes a heavy, pounding knock on the door. United States Army, a voice shouts. Is anyone in there? Chloe scoops up Eli and rushes to the door. A young blonde soldier with glasses smiles in the glow of his flashlight as she lets him in. Thank God you're alive, ma'am, he says, lowering his rifle. Somebody turned off the electric fence and they got in through the basement somehow. We think we have it under control now. Are you hurt? Is your son all right? We're fine, Chloe says. Chimpanzees tried to get in through the balcony, but then they left. So that's what they were, the soldier says, shaking his head. I knew I saw something jump over the perimeter fence from the second floor balcony. Are many people hurt? The other families? I'd be lying if I said no, the soldier said. 3 families on the 4th floor seem to have taken the worst of it. There have been about a half a dozen casualties so far. We're still sweeping. In the meantime, the soldier says, offering her something. Chloe just stares at it. It is a flat black pistol. We can't be everywhere at once, ma'am. You might need to use it to drive off the next wave. What if I can't? Then you might really need it, the soldier says, slapping it into her hand and turning to go. The gun lies dark, cold, and heavy in her hand. She hates to touch it. She knows all too well what he meant about needing it. He meant that she should use it. Oh, that's not what I thought. She should use it on Eli and herself rather than be eaten alive. Ugh. Mommy, is that a real gun? Says Eli. No. And that's where we're going to stop. Interesting. I thought they were giving it to her to shoot the animals. Wow. Okay. Curiouser and curiouser. All right, you guys, we are, again, we're getting to the end of the book. So we, let's see, did 85 and 86, I think. So we have about 10 chapters to go. I do have a video survey, maybe you want to call it, that I'm going to post soon. There's 2 different books I'm considering reading next, and I'm actually looking for people's opinions. I mean, you guys are the ones that are watching the channel, so I want to read what you want to hear. So if you watch for that, actually, oh, let me do this. Haha. If you click the subscribe button for this channel and you see the little bell tab, if you click that, then you'll get notifications every time there's a new video posted. And so when that survey video gets posted, you'll know it. And I would appreciate your input because, again, y'all are watching, so I want to read what you want to hear. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.